I'm feeling a little bit disconnected to that part of my body right now after my surgery. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do my pleasure practice today. And then I'm actually dragging my ass to my pleasure practice because I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. Welcome to the Pelvic Power Podcast. My name is Penny, and I am the host of this lovely space. I am a pelvic floor yoga teacher who teaches people with pelvic pain how to use movement, breathwork, and body awareness to ease and manage their pain while living a pleasurable life. In this space, we'll be talking about all things taboo because we love it, and how to support your lovely pelvis and your lovely self on this journey that you are on. I am very happy that you are here, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Pelvic Power Podcast. I'm very excited that you are here today. The sun is shining, summer has arrived in Canada, and I feel like a better version of myself. Thank you. So we're very happy about that. I am also on my way to be ovulating, so that doesn't really hurt, does it? So yay, we'll take the win. Welcome back. I'm very excited to get started with this episode today. Today we're going to talk about pleasure. We're going to talk about feelings. We're going to talk about feeling in life a little bit. So I saw my gynecologist on Friday, first appointment post-op. So I had my surgery 2 months ago, almost to the day actually, and I saw my gynecologist on Friday. The appointment went really well. It was really good. I love my gynecologist. If you live in my area, so I'm in Waterloo in Canada, Waterloo, Ontario in Canada. My gynecologist is in Cambridge. She is absolutely phenomenal. As you know, I live with lichen sclerosis. She is the best. I feel so seen, and I am just very happy that I have her in my life. So, chef's kiss to her. We love her. She's the best. So, I went and I saw her. Everything looks good. It has closed up a little bit, a little teeny tiny bit. It has closed up. So I'm back on the steroid every day for the next 2 weeks. And then I go back to every other day. So yeah, we're excited about that. But as I was talking to her, we're talking about my clitoris because clearly, obviously, it's exposed right now. So it's very open. Hello, say hi. And we're excited about this. We are excited about this. But there's a lot of sensitivity. And I mentioned that in the last episode, I believe. There's a lot of sensitivity going on. It's almost like painful sensitivity. I haven't even dared to take a vibrator anywhere near the area yet. I'm gonna have to do that with my clothes still on as I try it for the first time. I haven't gotten to that part yet. And yes, it is very sensitive, so it can be a little bit painful because that's what can happen when there's too much sensitivity or there's too much sensation. It can be a little bit painful. So this made me realize today, life is just lifing sometimes. And I think sometimes we forget to actually experience life and all of its emotions and all of the pleasure there is to be had. So when I saw her, I'm feeling a little bit disconnected to that part of my body right now after my surgery. Today I came home from the gym. I was just at the gym. I'm about to ovulate, as I said. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do my pleasure practice today. And then I'm actually dragging my ass to my pleasure practice because I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But I also know that I want to be able to experience life. I want to be able to experience pleasure in all its forms. So, how can I meet myself where I need to be met right now? And yes, I'm talking about pleasure. I'm talking about sexual pleasure. I'm talking about pleasure in that sense. But also, I feel like this applies to so many different parts of our lives. Sometimes I look at a person and I can tell that they're just like so stuck in their way of being that they cannot open themselves up to there being something else. And I just want to shake them around and be like, just feel a little bit. Step your toe out of your comfort zone, just a teeny tiny toe, and see how that feels. Sometimes I feel like we take life too way too seriously, that we do not actually allow ourselves to experience all the goodness or all the heartbreak or everything that is actually life. We came here for a fucking reason, and the reason is to live life. And sometimes I feel like we get so stuck in our phones. That is one thing about me. I get really stuck in my phone, really dysregulated. I forget my purpose, why I'm here. I'm a soul in this body. And I feel like we just become numb in a sense. And I don't want to live my life like that. So today when I came home from the gym, I was like, okay, I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna dip my toe in the self-pleasure practice today. Pulling out my lube, not using my vibrator. There's a lot of TMI here today. If you're in here, if you're in the space, you're here for a reason, welcome. I applaud you for being here and thank you for being here. So I was just exploring my body with my hands. And one thing I find that with this journey that is life, and yes, I'm still talking about pleasure and my pleasure practice, that is life, we always seem to hurry to the end goal of excuse me, the end goal of where we want to go. That is the main focus. We don't focus on the journey itself in getting there. And I think that is super important because we all have goals in life, things that we want to accomplish, and sometimes I feel like we're just rushing through it. I was talking to one of my coworkers today at the gym, and we're going to Greece together for my yoga retreat in July. And we're really looking forward to it, but it's in July, and that's 2 months away. And it seems like so far away, we're looking forward to it, but also it's summer. I want to enjoy summer. But it's been 2 months since I had my surgery. So this time is just gonna fly by. I'm like, okay, well, I need to fucking slow down and just take a beat and actually enjoy the journey. So I walked in with that mindset today into my pleasure practice and not rushing through anything. And I think that's super important when it comes to your pleasure and to what you're experiencing in life. I was just watching this TV show. I feel like everyone's seen it by now. It's been out for like 5 days. If you haven't seen it, you gotta fucking see it. I don't know what you're doing with your life, but it's called Off Campus. It's based off of a book. I read the first book a couple years ago. Absolutely obsessed with this TV show. And they're talking about so many good things in this TV show. And I think this is where I started really thinking about my own journey with pleasure. Cause like she wants to get the help from a guy to have an orgasm. And I can really feel that with her living with lichen sclerosis, that it can be really fucking difficult to get a clitoral orgasm. If you live with lichen sclerosis, you know what I'm talking about. If you do not, now you know something new. And she had a really hard time getting there. And yes, on TV, of course it was TV, she got there really quickly. That's not how it works in life. Just keeping that in mind. I'm watching this TV show and I'm fucking giggling, kicking my little feet like I'm a teeny tiny teenage girl who's just in love because yes, I am in love with the main character now. But I'm kicking my feet and then I start crying so much because I could just feel the way that she felt when she was like, I did it, I did it. And it just makes me so happy. And the support that she got from that one person that she chose to share this with. And it just really made me realize that I am not actually taking my time when it comes to my own pleasure. Like I try to like really chase to get there because the end goal is always orgasm. And it's like that with everything. And we've spoken about that before too. Like I feel like we're leaving so much out, we're leaving so much off the table by not focusing on just pleasure or by focusing on pleasure instead of just orgasm. So today, as I walked into my pleasure practice, the intent was not an orgasm, it was to check in with my body. I just had surgery. How am I feeling? How am I doing? What do I like right now? And I really invite you to do the same thing. So maybe you're out there, maybe you're sexually active, maybe you're not, maybe you're with a partner, maybe you're not. But how much do you actually know about your pleasure and what your body likes? And this also comes down to your nervous system and being able to really lean into pleasure and accept pleasure. They were talking about that in the show too, trust. And trust for your body too. They didn't say that, but they were talking about trust between two people. Trust is the most important thing when it comes to intimacy. And trust for yourself, trust your body that we can do it together. We can do it together, but also find the nervous system component of that. So really slowing down the journey, slowing down the pleasure practice. Okay, what feels good in my body today? What feels not so good in my body today? Could I picture myself doing this with someone else? Would I allow them to do this with me? So just really diving into pleasure, but also every day in life in general. How are you actually enjoying life? How are you letting yourself experience pleasure? Today I put on my silky robe and I had my lunch and I felt lovely. After my pleasure practice, I continued to stay in that kind of sensual vibe because I felt like I really needed it for myself. It's kind of like aftercare for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna put on my put on my moisturizer. I'm gonna put on this silky little bathrobe so that I can feel even more in a sense and not just rush away from it. Okay, great. I did my pleasure practice. Now what's going on my phone? And dive straight into your phone. No, we're gonna slow it down. We need to focus on more on pleasure and just being with ourselves and connecting with ourselves and feeling. Do you ever feel sometimes that you're a little bit numb and you're just walking through life and you're just doing life without actually experiencing life? And that's one thing that I say in my classes a lot. How can you actually let yourself experience the emotion of the movement that you're taking right now instead of just going through it? How can you let yourself experience your practice instead of just going through it? Okay, I have to do these pelvic floor stretches for my fucking pelvis. Oh my God. And then you're just like trying to rush through it as quickly as possible. And you're not even feeling into your body. How can you make it more embodied? How can you make it more pleasurable? How can you take time to actually connect with yourself, with your breath? And life just feels so juicy once you do that. Like I truly feel that if we just slow down and take our times, life can feel so much more juicy. So I invite you to go on this kind of little quest with me. How can we tend more to our pleasure practice without focusing on orgasms? Especially if you live with lichen sclerosis. How can we tend more to our pleasure practice in what feels good instead of what our body might not be able to do? Would you like to go on this quest with me? Because I think it might be fun. I think it might be fun, and I think that might be something that we need right now. So, how can you invite in more pleasure into your everyday life? Not just sexual pleasure, but also how can you experience more pleasure on the journey in your pleasure practice? Because it's important. This was just a short little sweet episode. I just had this little epiphany today. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions and if you had any epiphanies about yourself, because I'd love to receive your messages. Like, you actually have no idea how much it means to me when I get your emails, when I get your messages, because I'm doing this for you, baby. You are in my thoughts all the time, and I love it. Till next time, remember that you are fucking strong. You are worthy of pleasure in all its forms, even on the days when it might not feel like it as much, but you are, because you're a fucking queen. You're a fucking queen. I'll see you next week. Bye. If you loved this episode, I would be so grateful if you could leave a rate and review in your podcast app. It would mean so much to me. If you're tuning in on YouTube, feel free to hit subscribe and leave a little comment down below about what you learned about yourself today. Thank you so much, and you have no idea how much I appreciate you for being here.